Hello, Tuesday it is. We're doing this on Monday and Tuesday racing out at turffontein. We're on the inside track on Tuesday and the 8 races. We've got Weighted to Win uploaded already for you on our social media account, which is at Weighted to Win, the handle. We've also got the YouTube up and running at 4racing.tv naturally, and our WhatsApp group, which is doing particularly well. We'd love to have all of you. It's great to see how that is actually growing, that the number of people that follow Weighted to Win and want that information. It really does excite us, and we thank you from the bottom of our hearts for supporting the show. We hope it's been helping. And we'd love to hear from you. So, if you have any ideas, share them with us, because perhaps there is something that we can change or add or whatever the case may be, because it's all about evolving at the end of the day. So, Silver Tudor tops the boards, number 2 on the cards, 14-10 favourite. Looks like the horse to beat. I'm a Man is the second choice from Tony Peter. But I'd like to start the day with Silver Tudor, if I may, Mr. Burrows. I know it's a work riders race, and I'm normally a Sam Mosia guy, but I prefer the favourite. What do you like?
I agree with you, Clyde. I think Silver Tudor definitely the horse to beat. Now, back in October, he ran in that deadly form line behind Kian the Conqueror, and then his comeback run wasn't disgraced behind Sharapova. Now, his danger will be I'm a Man, but last time out he had excuses. I don't think he was striding out. He should be thereabouts, but I think Silver Tudor's going to have too much. He's got the come on look about him.
He does certainly have the come and look about him. Let's talk a little bit about perhaps the other one in the race over here, who is I'm a Man, who comes from Bob's Your Uncle. There may have been 2 winners from there by now. I don't know what happened on Monday, but I can tell you that Labrusco came from there and won, and I'm a Man wasn't too far behind on that occasion, and must have, I suppose, a serious chance here.
Yes, Clyde, that's not a strong field whatsoever, so I do give him a chance over here. He's got Sam C in the irons. I think he's going to push forward, Clyde. And, Tony gets his horses extremely fit, so he's going to be given every opportunity. Sam's going to ensure that he'll put him in the right place and be ridden positively. Clyde, the favourite, number 2, Silver Tudor, he improved in his first starts as gelding. The second and third placed runners both came out and ran second in their very next start. So I do believe he brings the strongest form into the race. He just was disappointing in his second start. So if he's now can string a few consistent runs together, I'll make him the horse to beat. The improver, now that she's going a bit of a trip, is the filly Shiny Silver. That's number 9. She gets a 3 kg sex allowance. Being a daughter by Silvano, I think there is scope for improvements.
There's a lovely horse in the race called Time to the Moon, whom I must tell you caught my eye based on looks. Going the extra 1,400 metres. It's Thomas and Kumi, Thomas.
Yes.
Thomas that rides it. And I think got to have a serious winning claim here. Well drawn, and I wouldn't ignore it. I liked the way it was, got involved in a photo for 5th or 6th or something like that. But I liked the look. I saw it in the parade ring. I was working that day, and it came back to the parade ring, and I said, this is a very nice horse and may well be worth including if you're looking to run these top horses over. We've got Daryl Marie and Darren Burrows working out Bipods for us. So we're starting with Darren Burrows, and we'll go straight there. And this is where he says 2 and 3 by banker the 5 in the second leg. So he'll be shouting over Mary's green light in his bipod. Then he's bankering the 8, that also Novi, followed by banker the 10. That horse is Platina Princess. Then 1, 4, 5 and 6 just now. And at the back of his bipod he's bankering number 6, Quasi's Lady, and that's an 8 rand perm. So Darren does appear to find it fairly straightforward. Does Daryl Marie do the same? See what his cost is. He's going a couple of horses in the first leg, so he's looking to survive. And then he too is bankering Mary's green light. He's also bankering number 8 on the card Zenovi. Then he's going a couple by quite a lot of horses. So the last leg does appear to be fairly tricky if Daryl Marie's bipod is to be believed. It's an 84 rand perm. Back, welcome. Let's get on to the next race on the card now. It's Place Accumulator Times. Thanks for joining us, where Mary's green light is 15-10. Love the way she moved first time out. Does look like a natural improver. It's going to go around the bend for the first time. I'm starting with Daryl Maria. I'm not sure that's going to be too much of a worry going around the turn.
No. Clyde, I think this is amazing price. I thought you'd be deep in the red. Stu Pettigrew will have a line of year. Obviously, this filly ran fourth behind one of his called
Call Me When You Need Me.
When You Need Me.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think if you ask him, how does he compare Call Me When You Need Me with regards to Miss Shivey, I think he would say there is no comparison.
Okay.
So
That's the line horse.
she put up a sparkling debut. I think she's going to love the additional 200 meters. Not too concerned that she goes around the bend. Obviously, Miss Shivey does have the course experience and she's very fit and she's got a one draw. But on ability, I don't think there's
You
a
can
comparison. So if the first time is not fancied, which is number 7 moving in, I expect this filly to shorten remarkably and start deep in the red. Moving in, there is a comment in the front of the book. She's green, but she's smart. And her full sister won one race over a mile. All I can say is watch the market with regards to number 7. But I really believe Mary's green light with that one runner under her belt will take a power beating.
Take a power beating despite the number of first timers, and there are quite a few, in particular Keegan de Mello, who's taken the ride first time on a first timer for Lucky Hoodalakis' stable, who's firing at the moment. Darren Burrows, what do you make of it?
Mary's green light, very hard to beat. This is one of the better bets on the card. Her debut was a sparkling effort, eye-catching headway the final 300, and she was beaten by Call Me When You Need Me, who is highly regarded. Surely with the run under the belt and the step up and trip, this is going to be a banker in all bets.
Okay, banker in all bets from the boys. Daryl Marie's got a PA, banker 5 by banker 8 by 1 and 10 by 5 and 6. Then a lot of horses in the next leg. And then in the seventh race, he's going 2, 5, 6 and 7. And the last race of his PA, 4 and 9. Time now for a pick 6. Let's get on to this maiden juvenile. It's a maiden juvenile plate, and it's over 1,200 metres in this race. There are 10 of them that go to the gate, obviously some that haven't been here before, and those that haven't had too many runs. Top of the boards is Lincoln Navigator for Johan Janssen van Vieren is 22 to 10, 5 to 2 about Zanovi, Mike de Kock second choice 5 to 2, and then we've got a few first timers thereafter, Lucky Hoodalakis, Ash Fortune, Tony Peter. There are a few. Not sure you've got comments on any of those, Daryl, or what or your take is on this race.
Yeah, there are comments in the front of the computer form.
Okay, I'll find them, but what do you like?
Of the race runners, I'm leaning towards number 8, Zanovi, over the market leader?
Yes.
Number 5.
Link Navigator.
Yes.
Yep.
Zanovi, Clyde, you can see last time he contested the Stormbird. There were winners in that race. He was far from disgraced. He was hanging in, Clyde. He now goes around the bend on the inside track, so maybe that could suit him. I don't know. Let's see how he goes. Gets the additional 200 meters. We saw that form line being franked with fire and flames coming out to win from there. And he's a half-brother to Zouaves, who was a bit of a 1,400 meter specialist. So I'm going to go and say that he's going to love the extra furlong. And I'm certainly favouring him over number 5. He comes out slow in his races, Clyde, and he's got a wide draw to contend with. He needs to jump in terms. That form line hasn't really stood up yet. So for me, 8 over 5. Feather Boa's full sisters in this race, Clyde. You got some information on her? Number 10?
Number 10, I'll tell you
Jazzy
now.
D, DJ Jazzy
Yes,
D.
yes, Jazzy Light, nice filly. Well, they say a nice filly, but will be green and could run into the money. Most of the comments are like that. Could be green, will run into the money. The most promising comment is can run into the money, which is We Are the Logans. And that happens to be number 7 on the card from Tony Peter's stable. So perhaps they really need to follow those. All right, let's go to Darren Burrows. You've heard what Daryl likes. Mr. Burrows, what's your take?
Clyde, my concern with Zanovi is that he hangs badly inwards. He did it on debut. It cost him second place, and he did it last time, and it cost him third place. If he runs straight and keeps a straight line, he should just about win, but that is my concern. He might just get hang towards the inside and get swallowed up on the outside. So I banked him in the bipods, but I would include a horse like Lincoln Navigator. I think the step up and trip's going to be ideal. So the 2 race runners are my leading lights.
Yeah, from Zanovi, that horse. What was that horse that came out of there?
Fire and Flames.
I like that horse. I rate that horse, Fire and Flames. I think it's a very good horse. So watch that. Pick sixes. Mr. Burrows going 5 and 8 in the first leg, by 10 a banker in the second leg of his pick six. So let's shout that home now and get home Platina Princess for Mike de Kock, who's 12 to 10 on the Monday. Field the third leg, and then horses, horses, horses. It's a 2,700 Rand cost. You could spend whatever you can afford. That's entirely up to you. Platina Princess has had the one run today. It ran to a horse called Egyptian Mo that Lucky Hudalakis trains, and was beaten 2 lengths on that occasion. Priced up 12 to 10 to win, yeah? So, Mr. Burrows, I take it you were quite impressed with that debut performance.
Very impressed. Clyde, if I'm not mistaken, this is the first juvenile to run in open company. So we're going to have to see how she goes. That obviously is a slight concern because they're young 2-year-olds. But when you look at the older horses, the strength of the form isn't great. And Platina Princess, she was off a bit early. She took time to unwind that stride. But when she got going, she chased a horse like Egyptian Mo home. I thought that was a solid effort and going to love the step up to 1450. She's seen the course, she's seen the bend from a one draw. I'll be very disappointed if she doesn't win.
Okay, let me ask Mr. Murray what he thinks of that. Taking on the open company and all that sort of stuff. How important is that?
She gets a 4 kilogram weight for age allowance, Clyde. My concern is she came out slow on debut. Will that happen once again tomorrow? I don't know. If she breaks on terms and she gets into this race, you can certainly see her winning because she doesn't take on a strong field whatsoever, and she's got the most scope for improvement. She's going to love the step up in trip, so there's a lot in her favour. She just was very green, and for that reason only, I am backing her up with a filly that doesn't bring the strongest form into the race, but I think the race might be run to suit, and that's number 1. Spirit Princess. Clyde, when she was fitted with the blinkers for the first time in her penultimate start, returning from a rest, it was a fair effort. That form line hasn't worked out, but Be In My Bonnet has come out since then and run second in her handicap. Last time out, if you use Island Beauty as a line horse, she ran well below par. So if she breaks well and breaks better than Platina Princess and gets ahead of her, I wouldn't be surprised to see her hold on. The pace should be on with the likes of number 7 in the race, United Branson.
Okay, so that's what you've heard from the gents. Let's put our jackpots on now. It's going to be interesting to see how this horse of de Kock's, she's very green first time out and did run on in the closing stages. Will that be good enough? Daryl Marie is saying, well, he's of the view that perhaps in this case we're going to need 2 horses here, and that's why he wants to go both the 1 and the 10. So Spirit Princess rates that with a chance, priced up 7 to 1, second favourite. By 5 and 6, by horses, a 168 Rand cost. Next race on the card, let's get on to race number 5 now. This is where Sister Light tops the boards. Very unlucky not to have won last time out, I thought personally, at 5 to 2 favourite. The second choice is that horse Be In My Bonnet, who's trading at 4 to 1, and 9 to 2 about number 3, Unconditional Love. We're on Twitter at Waited to Win, or on the WhatsApp number. Please make sure that you use those to engage. We'd love to hear from you if you haven't already, or you're not already part of it. So I liked Sister Light last time. I thought very unlucky not to have won. What do you make of it, Darren?
I make her the horse to beat. I thought a very competitive lineup, but Sister Light wasn't disgraced in the Jacaranda and will rate the horse to beat. Now, Dangers, Queen of Smoke. She had excuses last time out. She's capable of a lot better. I'm not quite sure she stays a mile. So let's see how she goes. The improver in the race could be Greek Miss. I was impressed with that sort of return to form last time out. If building on that effort, she could get into it. And the bottom weight, Escape Artist with only 50.5 kilos.
Okay, so yeah, she ran up to standard. Did this horse that we like, Sister Light, well, I like anyway, in the Jacaranda. Now she's in a 94 divided handicap over the mile. And I don't think there's anything wrong with her inside track form. I mean, in fact, she won on the inside track.
Yeah, Clyde, she's won 2 on this track before. Very, very unlucky. She was moving in to stake a claim, and she got cramped on that outside running
And she was too far back.
And then after switching in, she came again, Clyde. Have a look at that jockey-trainer combination. 56 runners. They've settled well together. They've booted home or won 15 out of those 56 races. So that's a very high strike rate. This filly's in really good form. You can't discount her chances. She's going to be the leading light in the race. If it was 1800, I'd be very bullish with regards to her chances. But a mile, having the fact that she's won over 1400 before, a mile is not of any concern. I also like the look of Greek Mrs. last start. You know, she was over racing in the early stages. If you have a look at the closing stages of that race, Clyde, she was doing her best work late. She was staying on stoutly towards the end. I'd like to see her push forward and get into this race, if not lead. We've seen her go start to finish in the past, and there was signs of life in her later start. So to me, she's going to be Sister Light's biggest danger. Just watch if number 3 does line up over here, Unconditional Love. There is a form update with she finished
over the weekend,
fourth, beats in 4 3/4 of a length by Stormy Winter. Your fancy?
Yeah, correct. Well, I don't know. I think Sister Lights, personally, I think it's worth a bet. Let's have a look at what we're going to do with jackpots here now, guys, and take a look. We're going field in the first leg from Mr. Burrows by Banker 6. In the second leg of his jackpot, that, as we alluded to earlier, Quasi's Lady. He'll be shouting home the Alec Laird stable today, a 5-1 shot. And then Horses and Horses, and he's spending 270 Rand. So Darren Burrows is going for Quasi's Lady. We know that because he's bankered this in the pots and all that stuff. And this horse you can get around 4-5-1. Impressive winner last time. She beat Tinder Dry quite comfortably. And then Midnight Crystal, who was the third horse, came out and won. And not far behind them was a horse called Fascinada, who actually came out and ran second. So you may well be onto something here, Darren.
Clyde, I liked her in a big way last time. Reason why, they stepped her up to a mile finally. And I think she relished the step up in trip. She was absolutely cruising in between runners going through the 300. She hit the front and then she started running around. And then the jockey straightened her out and he just pointed her straight. I thought she won a cracking race. And off her current rating, I still believe she's off a winning mark. So I'm pretty confident about Quasi's Lady. If you're looking past her, it does get a bit tricky.
Sean Terry's got LMB who's in the race, and he also trained at horse Midnight Crystal, so there'll be some sort of idea as to where he stands around all that. What do you think, Mr. Marie?
Not much.
No. Open.
I don't know what to make of this race. One thing's for certain, Clyde, Quasi's Lady did impress last time out. She appreciated the step up to a mile, and she won easier than what the winning margin suggests. A filly that's well held on that form line is number 12, Field of Vision. I mean, she's only, I think, 1.5 kilograms better off for a 6-length beating.
Right.
So on paper, she's got no chance of reversing that form. And she's got a shocking draw to contend with. But I just have a look at her rating. She's down to a 59. I have to believe that this filly's better than a 59. I don't like the look of the race. I certainly wouldn't be shocked to see Quasi's Lady back it up with another victory.
Okay. Open. There's not much we're going to get out of that other than the fact that the horse that is likely to continue to improve is Quasi's Lady, because that she's going over this mile again and may well end up being the right one. Otherwise, it's as open as they come. Let's see which way the guys are going in this event. It's Darren Burrows' race, and he's not interested. He says we're backing Quasi's Lady. This is a classified stakes and race number 7 on the card. The distance, or I beg your pardon, the distance is 1,800 metres, but the betting has got Go Flitchity top of the boards at 5-2 for Gareth Van Zyl. And the Highveld runners that Gavin's looking after have been running particularly well. We just saw Tababur win over the weekend. I know that was a victory that some sort of fancied, but the stable's in good form.
Yes, the stable's well, Clyde, but I didn't have this filly originally included into my perms. Reason why, I think she's an out-and-out stayer, and the drop-in trip's not ideal. I like a bit of Call Me Master. That last effort, that was a solid run behind Zuzan and Climate Control. Now, they ran on the weekend. They ran second and third in their very next start. So that form line's good enough to me. I think Call Me Master in the right type of race to win. Others to consider: Vesuvio, Oyster King, and Romeo's Magic, who improved with the blinkers on last time out.
Yeah, I don't know. There are a few, that got chances. What can you help us with?
Yeah, this is the wrong favourite. Go Fletcherty.
Is it the wrrong favourite? Who
No,
should
she
be
doesn't.
favourite?
On form, Call Me Master should be favourite, Clyde. But he's not in my top 3.
Oi.
Yeah. Romeo's Magic, like Darren touched on, he improved with the blinkers. He holds Vesuvio, but Vesuvio, Clyde was returning from a layoff from a wide draw on that occasion. Then last time out on the Vaal Classic track, it was too short for him. He's going to love being stepped up back to 1800. He's having his peak run. What price is he? I think he's in the region of 16 to 1.
Yeah, correct.
I think that's a huge price.
Correct.
Certainly overpriced. I'm going to say he's the value in the race. Go have a replay. Go have a watch of the replay of Montmorency, number 7. Couldn't get a run for 600 meters.
Okay.
The length of the straight. In his penultimate start, he wasn't beaten too far.
What price is that? That's
also 16 to 1. I think there's also value about him. Yeah, Clyde, difficult race. I'm
I'd
just
like to
looking.
catch the Corteccia, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I don't know if there'll be those prices come race time, but certainly anti-post, there's a lot of value.
So your top 2, I mean, just give me your top 2.
I'm going to go
double float.
Vesuvio. The Vesuvio is the each way play.
2. Okay. 2
And then you have
Vesuvio.
to double float with the 6
Yeah.
Romeo's Magic.
Yeah. Okay. Let's have a look, guys. What have we got in terms of Daryl Marie? 2, 5, 6, 7. Those are the 4. You'll use that in his exactas and he'll box those. You may want to use some of what Daryl likes and Darren, put them together in quartets. That's a way to catch them. Well, maybe with Permessa Avanti's rating coming down ever so slightly, things will help its chances. But it's got Nettleton as the horse to beat. It's a stable companion for Johan Janssen van Vieren. Keegan's on Permessa, whilst Gavin is riding Nettleton. Darren, help me through it. Is it those 2 or is there something else?
Well, I do like Permessa Avanti. She's racing off such a good mark at the moment. She should just about get it right. She took on Open Company last time out, not disgraced. Her penultimate start was against a lot stronger. She's surely going to run a big race here. Nettleton, good debut winner. Didn't beat much. I know Fully Automatics came out to win a work rider race next time out, but that was a very average field. Vava Vegas could be the improver. His rating's down to a 67, and he wasn't far back last time out.
Vava Vegas is Roy Magnus table. Okay, we'll have a look. What about a horse like Gin and Tonic, Daryl Marie? You give that any sort of chance? Any sort of chance? I see Western Wishes came out of Smith and Wesson and won. Anything?
Yeah, I'd give her a chance, Clyde.
Place chance.
I like the look of Vava Vegas. You can see he was 78. He's down to 67. And
78 down to
currently
67.
he's only 1.5 kilograms out with the best weighted. So on ratings, he's a big runner. Clyde, take note of this equipment change. He's been fitted with a set of blinkers.
Okay.
That will get it.
First time?
Yes, that will hopefully get him into those his races because he tends to lack early toe. Mescal, form update for him. Great ride by Caden Brewer, Clyde. Okay?
Yeah, I saw that.
Get the better of Pierce Striker straight on
Short
with
heads in
Quandary.
it. Look at that. Look at
Shame
that.
he was
Very
left
good.
out of the spotlight over there. But yes, he beat Quandary. He's now carrying 56 kilograms. Showed a lot of guts in that victory. I think he's in a good space currently. And then the favourite, Nettleton, a lot's in her favour. She's got the draw, goes the extra furlong, got a lot of scope for improvements. Just no value at her current price.
I don't know. This horse maybe Mescal. I don't know. It hasn't been on the inside track before, has it? Has it? Maybe
Yeah, it
it has.
has.
Not in my current exposed form. Sorry, I can only go back 10 runs on my pad. Yeah. Tell me, there was one other I wanted to mention to you in the race. I thought that might have some sort of chance that I wanted to ask you about that you've made reference to. That you guys are talking about. What price is Vava Vegas? I mean, it's
16 to 1.
any price. Huh? Yeah.
He's the value.
That's the value of Vava Vegas. So for Daryl and Darren, there could be a bit of a shrewdy in the pack over there. I see the form line hasn't really worked out though, so I'm not sure what to do in a race like this. Maybe it will be Permisso's turn. Let's see. We'll take a look. Here's what the guys are suggesting. What you should do. Daryl's saying Nettleton, number 4, won well first time out, and recommending that you put the 9 in Vava Vegas at any price.